all of us fall short of the glory of God. All of us are sinful. And it means that we need one another to bear our burdens. But Kyle, I don't really like showing my weaknesses. I understand that. I'm not saying you got to come up here and confess all your deepest, darkest sins in front of the congregation, online to the internet. But if you pretend like you don't have them, you deceive yourself. It doesn't make you less valuable to have a weakness. It means you're human. And if you just cover up weaknesses, you don't actually get stronger. If I can give maybe a modern day parable, let's say there's a man who wanted to construct and build his own home. Really, really good at building houses. I mean, he can do masonry, electrical, carpentry, framing, roofing, you name it, he can do it. Except the plumbing. He's a terrible plumber. But he doesn't really want to ask for help because he's got this reputation. Everybody thinks he's this master craftsman. And so he can't ask somebody to do the plumbing for him because he's the guy who can do everything. So anyways, he finishes this magnificent house. It's beautiful. Wonderful home. People marvel how great it looks, and he has these great parties for the community, and he invites his friends over. He's even made this ballroom on the second floor of his house. But of course, the man has a secret. The plumbing leaks consistently. He's tried to fix it, and he can't avail. At first he puts this little bucket under some of the spots where it's leaking in the house to catch the bucket, but eventually the bucket overflows. But he doesn't really want anyone to know about it, so he bolts in the door so no one can ever even see the bucket overflowing. He just closes it off so no one can know his secret. For the most part, he doesn't think about it. Weeks go by, months go by, and he starts to notice maybe the floor's got a little softness to it, a little give. But otherwise, the house looks beautiful. Out of sight, out of mind. Until one day he decides to have a party in the ballroom. As the guests, they pile in and the music is playing, suddenly the floor, whose structural integrity has been weakened over the past several months, gives way. And all the guests suffer from the terrible fate of his pride. I think far too many of us, brothers and sisters, are like the proud man. If he just would have asked for help, he would have avoided all that destruction both to himself and to others. But he was too ashamed to admit that a man like him couldn't deal with his problems. If anyone thinks he's something when he's nothing, he deceives himself. I want you to imagine, brothers and sisters, what if the thing that ails you most today, the problem that you just can't get a grip on, that sin that ensnares you, wouldn't you trade a little bit of shame and vulnerability for the freedom of having victory?